Time now for better food. Making your own bread might sound intimidating, but there are only a few ingredients needed for European bread.
Yeah, and what makes it even better? There's no kneading involved. It is not a kneady bread.
No, it's not kneady. This is so quick and so easy, and I know you're not going to believe me on this.
Well, you come in every single time with the bread, and it's always an afterthought, and we're like, Laura, how do you make the bread?
Yes, Laura
You're like,
Grimmer
oh, it's too simple, and I'm like, no, we're going to do this.
Laura Grimmer from The Perfect Pair, and she says that you don't have to be Laura Grimmer to make this. Like,
No,
this is foolproof.
Totally foolproof. So we're going to start with a cup and a half of water.
Okay.
Cold, don't even worry about the temperature of it. Right out of the tap, cold water is good. We're going to do 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. So this is what you get in a packet of yeast if you buy a packet.
So just buy a packet of yeast at the supermarket.
Yep, and I have it in bulk, so I have this handy dandy little spoon that measures out exactly 2 1/4 teaspoons.
Okay, which again is everything is available to buy at Laura's shop at The Perfect Pair.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So we got that, and then I have 3 cups of flour.
Okay.
Dumping this in.
It's important to be exact with bread, right?
That's another beautiful thing about this recipe. Not so much.
Not this
You're
one.
going to see how goopy it gets, and then I'm going to do a teaspoon and a half of salt.
Okay.
And that's it.
And that's it.
And I'm just going to stir it with a spoon.
This took like 30 seconds.
I
That's
know, quick, quick, quick. I'm stirring it with a spoon and until everything is moist.
4 ingredients.
Yep. And this is your basic artisan plain bread. Now, one thing you're going to see, and anybody who makes bread out there who hasn't done this recipe is going to be horrified because you're going to see it's a really wet, sticky dough. So I don't know if you can see this. It's very wet and sticky.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
All right.
And so now I'm going to just scrape it off. We're going to cover this with
Is that
plastic.
Is that what that's for? Is that a spoon
This
scraper?
is a dough scraper, yeah.
They make that?
So you're going to put that.
Who knew?
I'm going to cover it with.
We need a dough scraper.
Cover it with with plastic wrap, which is what I've got here, and then 4 hours later, this is what you have. And see how it's all bubbly on
Tracy, our
top?
producer, said everybody in the world knew what it was except the 2 of us.
Well, that's why we're making no-knead bread.
That's not
Exactly.
fair. All right, so you can see how this is all bubbly on top and all gooey.
Did it matter? In the past, I think you've told me sometimes it does matter what kind of bowl. Does it matter that it go in a metal bowl or a glass bowl? You can put it in anything.
Anything.
Plastic bowl?
Doesn't matter at all.
And I apologize, how long does it take from
4
that?
hours.
4 hours,
Yep.
okay.
And so you can also use less yeast and have it do overnight, but this is a quickie 4-hour one. All right, so you notice I'm liberally flouring my board because you're going to see what I want to show you here is that how you can tell when it's ready is you get this kind of stringy look on the
dough scraper.
I don't know, can you see that?
Yeah,
you can see on the dough scraper, the dough scraping device. But look at how goopy it is. So this is incredibly moist and goopy and runny and everything like that.
And you're saying that's
okay.
not, if people who are used to making bread, that's not normally what they want it to look like.
No,
Okay.
it is. And I'm using lots of flour here because I don't want it to stick.
Okay.
And I'm using my dough scraper to scrape it up.
I'm sensing you need to go buy a dough scraper before you do this.
And that's a whopping like $2 or $3 investment.
Okay,
so super
so you
easy.
have that.
Yep.
This is reminding me of the movie The Blob.
All right, and that's you can see
With
how blobby
Steve
it is.
McQueen.
Would you hand me that sheet pan?
Okay.
All right, and so usually I have a slightly bigger sheet pan, but and you'll see it when I show you how it's done. I'm gonna flour the paper because I don't want it to stick. You can see some of these recipes will call for not using the parchment. I use the parchment because I want it to be as easy as possible.
And
all right,
easier to clean up. And so
that's it.
Just regular flour that you're using.
Regular flour. I'm going to put a little more on top, and then I'm going to cover it with a towel.
Moist towel? Regular towel?
Regular towel. I'm going to set it aside, and then 30 minutes later, it comes out looking like that.
How beautiful.
You just let it rest.
Just let it rest under the towel. If I poke it, you see how it keeps a little hole?
Yep.
That means it's ready.
Okay.
So when I covered it for 30 minutes, then the next thing that I did was that I put one of my beautiful cast iron pans into the oven.
Okay.
You
And
let
I
it get hot.
preheated it so when I rested that, I put the pan into the oven, turned the oven on up to 450, so it's really, really hot. So I'm going to go get that.
Okay, so 450. We have about a minute, Laura, just to give you a little time.
And the whole thing, just to review, it's a no-knead bread, and it just goes in that pot, and apparently it comes out like these beautiful bakery loaves.
I mean, these are just some...
You plop the blob in there, and it comes out.
It comes out, right. So this pan is smoking hot. All right, so now, and this is what a wonderful use of these cast iron pans, right? So now I'm just gonna pick this up and
with the paper and everything.
Plop it in.
Paper, everything.
Paper and
Drop
Paper
it in.
and everything. Drop it in. And now this is going to go back into the oven for 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take the lid off and for 15 more minutes. And then I have one of these.
Isn't that spectacular?
I mean, they're like these beautiful, and that's one of the most popular things in your shop, are the beautiful artisan breads.
Yep, and the cast iron skillets. You can use enamel cast iron. You can use, I've got Lodge. This was a half loaf that I did in that. And then you can see, so then you come out with these giant loaves, and the easiest way to serve them is to cut them in half like this. And then, so you've got wonderful bread.
Isn't that beautiful?
And then slice it. And before I even do anything with it, when I slice them, I slice it like this, and then I throw them into a Ziploc bag, and I throw it in the freezer.
And
then I have toast whenever I want it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you,
There you
Laura.
go.
Just absolutely amazing.
You're not going to try it?
To see beautiful wares for your kitchen, table, and bar, visit perfectpairct.com. You'll also get to find information about cooking and baking classes she teaches. Laura's shop is located on Main Street in Chester, and it really is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous shop.